Together in faith, we shall be counted as a great state with strong economy. My wife, Her Excellency, Dr. Mrs. Martha Udom Emmanuel, and I bring you greetings on this special day. The inspirational first line of our national anthem says, "Arise, O compatriots, Nigeria's call obey." 5 years ago, I heard Nigeria's call in general and Akwa Ibom summons in particular, and I presented myself for the task of rebuilding our state. With God's guidance and your overwhelming and generous support, we have recast this blessed land of promise into a great and wonderful piece of God's real estate. Today is the first anniversary of the resounding victory you had yet reaffirmed in my capacity last March to continue to be the team lead of peace, security, and development of this great state until 29th of May 2023. In 5 years, together in faith and shared hopes, we have achieved a lot for our collective well-being, and we owe this to our only God, who sees the innermost depths of our hearts, the sincerity and transparency we bring to bear in the execution and management of the resources of this great state. I come to you today in the most unusual of ways. Instead of the unusual festivities that have attended this day in the past years, the convivial atmosphere at the stadium, the gala night at either the banquet hall or Ibom Hotels and Resorts, I am addressing you via the instrument of a state broadcast. The reason is because we are living in a decidedly strange and unusual times. When we were ushered in the new year with pomp and pageantry, we did not envision the fact that an innocuous virus that started in the city of Wuhan in China last December and was initially treated as a common flu would render the world prostrate, changing the modes of societal engagement and practically turning every known rules and conventions of relationships on its head. Today, the world has changed possibly forever. Coronavirus, otherwise known as COVID-19, has become a clear and present danger, leaving no country unaffected and introducing new lexicons of usage: social distancing, face mask, self-isolation, lockdown, and drumming other protocols of hygiene already known to humanity like sing-song. To the glory of God and based on our proactive leadership style, this new reality brought about by COVID-19 did not miss us unprepared. In the past 5 years, we have worked hard to touch every sector of our society and prove to everyone that where the passion is right, great things can and will happen. Shortly after I was sworn in 2015, the tailwind on our economic horizon was fiercely turbulent, brought about by the sharp drop in crude oil prices, which later triggered a recession that lasted until late 2017. Even with what we were confronted with, we did not make excuses or engage in pity party. We went to work, and our various trainings as managers of men and resources came in handy. Today, because of the effects of COVID-19, we are also experiencing similar challenging economic times. Like we did in the past, we will rise to the occasion, and together we will weather the storms and be counted as a great state with great economy. Without necessarily going into a full exposition of our scorecard, which thankfully you are all abreast of, which was the reason you voted for me to return as your governor last year. It bears repeating that we have used the resources of this state to touch lives in the areas of industrialization, agriculture, education, healthcare delivery services, infrastructural development, aviation, youth and women empowerment, rural development, sports, tourism, and the rest. When shortly after I was sworn in, I inaugurated the Technical Committee on Agriculture and Food Sufficiency, some naysayers thought we were playing to the gallery. Today, from the rice fields in Inilowo government area to the dairy processing mills scattered all over the 3 senatorial districts, to fertilizer blending plant which helps with our agricultural output, to improve seedlings and storage of our excess produce, to our most modern flour mill, which produces the flour for our bread and confectionery needs, our vegetable greenhouses, which produce most of which we consume. These huge investments in agriculture have helped us stay ahead of COVID-19. Our youths have now embraced agriculture, and I'm always impressed when I receive text messages from them commending the new reality we have awakened in them through agriculture. That is what Dakada Spirit, which I also launched in September 2015, has produced in our people. I want to thank you, my dear people, for buying into our vision of a state that is self-sufficient in food production. In the past 5 years, we have poured enormous resources in ensuring that our secondary healthcare services is top-notch, from remodeling of hospitals across the 10 federal constituencies, such as Etinan General Hospital, Methodist Hospital in Tungbang, General Hospital in Kwitaran, Ikorokoro, Ikono, to the world-class isolation centers at the Bomb Specialist Hospital, the one at Ikoregbene, and the icing on the cake, the 300-bed isolation center at Tungbang, is ready for commissioning. We have been able to utilize the lean resources to work for our people. Work is also ongoing at Emmanuel Hospital Eket, General Hospital Ikorobasi, General Hospital Ikoregbene, and Awa respectively. Our world-class polymerase chain reaction PCR laboratory, where critical tests, including COVID-19 and other infectious diseases, would be carried out, is also ready for commissioning. We have also received our brand new ambulances, which are of the same standard and quality as those in the Western world. Most of our over 35 container loads of world-class medical equipment have started arriving and will be deployed to different hospitals across the state very soon. Today, our syringes manufacturing company, the largest in Africa, stands as a testament to vision and proactiveness as we now produce most of our medical consumables from our own dear state. In the area of education, we have invested our resources in ensuring that we prepare our children for the competitive world of the 21st century. Education remains free and compulsory at the primary to secondary level. We are still helping with the payment of WAEC fees to help indigent students take their examinations. In 5 years, we have, in collaboration with the Nigerian Navy, brought Navy Secondary School at Ikontwen, Ekparakwa, and Command Secondary School, EFA, in Etinan local government area. We have remodeled and refurbished numerous classrooms, blocks, and made the environment for learning conducive and inviting for our children. So far, we have constructed and renovated over 500 school blocks through the Interministerial Direct Labor Committee. This is in addition to the 601 projects, including classroom blocks executed by Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB, through matching grants which we have provided. Our teachers are constantly exposed to further trainings to bring them up to speed with modern approaches to teachings. We have poured resources into our state-owned tertiary institutions, the Akwa Ibom State University at both the main campus, Ikoropaden, and at Obiokwa campus, respectively, continuing to receive our attention with the construction of internal roads. Same with State Polytechnic at Ikorosura and College of Education at Faransi. As part of our efforts to improve the quality of our educational curriculum, we held an education summit and exhibition, the first of its kind by any state. Currently, we are running the hugely popular School on Radio program to help our students and pupils prepare their final examinations in junior and secondary schools due to COVID-19 pandemic. The result of these investments can be seen in the numerous awards our students have won across the nation and the accreditations of our courses at our state-owned tertiary institutions by relevant regulatory bodies. Industrialization is the linchpin of our governing agenda, and so far we have attracted over 18 industries to this state, some of which include the largest syringe manufacturing company in Africa, the Metering Solutions Company, the plywood factory, the fully digitized flour mill, coconut refinery, whose work is at advanced stages of completion, numerous cassava processing mills, pencil, toothpick industries, rice mills, plastic making factories, among so many others. These industries have helped with our job and wealth creation agenda. We will continue to make our state a destination of choice for investors post-COVID-19. Last June, Ibom Air began commercial operations. Today, less than a year later, the airline has become a national sensation, confounding skeptics and those who said it could not be done. 2 weeks ago, in keeping to our promise of expanding the fleet of Ibom Air, we received a brand new Bombardier CRJ900, bringing the fleet of Ibom Air to 4 aircraft. We hope to add another one before the end of June 2020. Ibom Air again has shown in clear terms that with proper planning and the right passion, what was thought impossible can be made possible. Today, our people, and indeed the entire nation, have experienced the ease of traveling because of the vision we brought to bear with this airline. Our main runway at the Victor Ota International Airport was early in the life of this administration elevated to Category 2, as well as the construction of the taxiway. Work is ongoing at the main terminal building of the airport as we prepare Akwa Ibom to become a regional hub in aviation. Industrialization cannot thrive without the provision of solid road infrastructure. We have just deployed huge resources in road infrastructure, and we can state emphatically that we have constructed and completed the longest dualized thoroughfares in Nigeria in the last 5 years. Some of these dualized roads include Uyo Etinan Road, Uyo Ikorekbeno Road, Etinan East-West Road, Eket Ibno Road, Airport Okobo Road. In addition, Ring Road 2 and the 10-lane Ring Road 3 in Uyo Metropolis are in advanced stages of completion, while contracts had been awarded for construction of surface and underground drain structure for collection and final discharge of Uyo Metropolis flood at IBB Way, Uyo. This complements the numerous internal roads networking, major town in the state. Early in the life of this administration, we took the bold and decisive step to end the perennial flooding at Nsika Adok Avenue and other flood-prone areas, as well as our emergency intervention with gully erosion on Calabar Itu Road. Our investment in power sector, especially the construction of substations in Uyo, Ekem, in Barenin, and Ikorekbene, will help us with our vision of providing power for all by year 2021. As you may have observed, the 21-story intelligent building, easily one of the most modern and sturdy buildings in this country, is almost ready. We hope the international oil companies will see the need to relocate their headquarters to our state, as well as such agencies of the federal government as the Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR. Our investment in sports has been nationally applauded. Our investment in the maintenance and upgrade of the Nest of Champions has ensured it remains the main venue for major football competitions in this country. Our modern sports stadium in Eket is nearing completion and will continue to provide the amenities for our youth to participate in sports and hone their skills at a young age. Our rural electrification as part of rural and riverine development continues to take a huge chunk of our investment. Numerous feeder roads have been constructed, and we do this to reduce rural to urban migration and provide quality life for our rural dwellers. We will continue to explore avenues to diversify our economy through tourism. Our state enjoys the distinction of being one of the safest states in the nation. We will ensure that this critical element of the social contract remains an abiding article of faith. Our social infrastructure continues to engage our attention. This we have done in collaboration with my wife, Her Excellency Dr. Mrs. Martha Udom Emmanuel's PET project, FEREP. We continue to support farmers and market women with interest-free loans and youth and women empowerment schemes. We will continue to invest in these areas because of their multiplier effects it brings. Let me also add here that we have been steadfast in the prompt payment of salaries and pensions. The salary and pensions for this month have already been processed, and I'm sure most public servants have received or are about to receive their alerts. The post-COVID-19 Economic Reconstruction Committee, which I inaugurated weeks ago, is another proactive way we look at the economic fortunes of our state. As you are aware, Nigeria is a monoproduct economy propelled by oil. Today, the oil market is gloomy and completely bearish. At a little over a month ago, oil prices were in the negative, which means you couldn't even sell the oil you have, and you have to pay for storage space. Our state, as the highest producer of crude oil in Nigeria, given the challenging oil market prices, would have to think out of the box, which necessitated the inauguration of the committee. We are hopeful that the recommendations the committee will come up with will help us strategize and look at Akwa Ibom in a possible post-crude oil propelled economy. I call on our people to come together and bury the poisonous chalice of politics, of blackmail, of sponsoring false and libelous stories about our leaders in the press just to settle political scores. I call on our media practitioners to understand that words, either spoken or written, have meaning and thus should allow the highest level of circumspection, moderate the manner they report their state and leadership. We are all for robust media engagement and constructive criticisms, but intentionally manufacturing falsehood and slanderous articles at the behest or promptings of faceless group or political interests sure do have consequences. As the popular saying goes, if you can't stand the heat, stay out of the kitchen. If you intentionally libel or besmirch the sterling character of a public official, you should be ready to answer and defend your published report in both the law courts and the court of public opinion. As I've always said, this is the time for governance, and all hands must be on deck to ensure that we move our state collectively to a path of steady growth and development. It is too early to engage in the politics of 2023. We will have enough time to do so when the time is right. Good leaders do not plan for the next elections. They plan for the next generations. Let us therefore see the next generation of Akwa Ibomites as assets that must be nurtured, expanded, and made ready for the future. Destroying the cause of our unity at the altar of partisan politics or waging wars against brothers and sisters just to settle ancient animosities should be discouraged. Let me emphatically state here that Akwa Ibom people enjoy the peace and security we currently have, and will resist any attempt by individuals or groups to return us to the evil years when kidnapping and politically motivated killings brought untold fears in this land. Akwa Ibom people have made a choice to stay and live in peace, and this is the new normal. Those who traffic in violence should take note. Government will ensure that those who are planning such evil as a strategy for winning elections will be sorely disappointed. Akwa Ibom people have gone beyond those fearful years. I call on all patriotic Akwa Ibomites to join the trend of peace and development as it moves gingerly on the path of our completion agenda. We have achieved a lot for our people in 5 years, and we hope to do as much with the resources at our disposal in the coming years. Let me end this speech by repeating one of my favorite quotes from the 6th President of the United States of America, John Quincy Adams. I quote, "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader." Make history, celebrate and reward those who work to make our people to be more in thoughts, actions, and deeds. Do more to strengthen our cords of unity and brotherhood. Dream more of opportunities for growth and development, and inspire more to become great and be all that God desires for us. In Jesus' name, amen. God bless Akwa Ibom State. God bless us all. Akwa Ibom, Dakada, Amin, Medaka.